In this video, I'm excited to tell you how we 10x'd our streams in literally 12 days. It was actually 11 days because I'm going to show you the charts on how I had my song Help that was only getting 63 streams a day. And now we are over 700 plus streams a day. No label, no touring, no super big budget, right? Like I think we're less than $50 US a day still. I'm going to show you my screen in a second, but this stuff works, and it's for a song that is 2.5 years old. Okay. The live stream is a little later today, and that's because I was hoping, and I might even get it while we're recording this video today for you, but I was hoping I'd get my email from Apple artists to show you my Shazams, because I'm hoping from all this advertising and all this marketing that not only did the Spotify streams go up, but what tends to happen is a lot of people hear the song and they're like, ooh, what is that? And they Shazam it. And Shazam is an app owned by Apple, right? That tells people what the song is, and then it literally pulls it up on iTunes or Apple Music so that they can listen to it. And every week, if you're signed up to artists.apple.com, it's just like your Spotify artist, but it's Apple for artists. And they give you your data every week to see what's been going on, what's your most popular tracks, what's going on with radio. And it's just really valuable, especially when you're marketing a song. You want to know, is it working, right? And so it's obviously working on Spotify. And we've seen comments on YouTube. I think I shared yesterday or the day before that people are going to YouTube and they're leaving comments and saying, wow, I heard this on Instagram. So I just want to encourage you, like, this marketing stuff works, okay? Who am I? My name's Chris Greenwood, also known as the artist Manafest. I have over 130 million streams. We actually have over 200 million now. And I have about 500,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. I want to get that back up to 1 million, and I'm sure you do too. And so that's why I'm sharing this video. This is like the 30-day challenge to see if I can blow up a song, see if I get 100,000 streams on a song in 30 days. And so we're really going to increase the budget. We're really going to crank up the marketing to see what kind of damage we can do in getting our music out there, because if they don't know you, they can't flow you. You know, a good song doesn't always win. It's the good marketing behind the song. Okay. You can take a so-so song, like a mediocre song, and you market it. I could do better than a great song. But when you have a great song and you have great marketing, that's like just a 10x. Okay. But I want to share some stuff with you guys before we jump into this. And the first thing I want to say is, like, a lot of people hate on Spotify. Okay. And it's just like, look, if you were in the era of CDs like I was, and distribution and just trying to get your music out there, Spotify has democratized music so that you can get it out on a global scale. I used DistroKid to distribute my music. I've used TuneCore before that. I used CD Baby before that. It's not so much about who you distribute with, who gets your music out there. It's what you do once it's out there. And I know we're like, oh, I want to get paid for my music. I want to get paid more for my music. And 0.003 cents to 0.005 cents is not a lot, but that just means you need more streams. Because I have a full-time career in music because of streaming, and of course also because of the TV syncs, film syncs we get, because I write for TV and film. But the majority of it is, honestly, it's in the streaming. And that's even more consistent than the sync placements. I can't really control the sync placements, but I've noticed that once I get the streams going, like once I get enough momentum, and I shared this in an earlier day, that my plane eventually takes off. You see, there's a law that's more powerful than gravity. And gravity is the doubt, it's the fear, it's the insecurity that is holding your music career down. Okay, that's the gravity. But there's a law that's more powerful than gravity. You know what that is? That's the law of lift. Okay, but a plane has to go fast enough, quick enough, in a short enough period of time to break through. Okay, have you ever been on a plane that has taken off, that started and then stopped and then started and then stopped and then started and then stopped? It would never take off, right? Like when a plane starts, it goes until it takes off. But you know what we do a lot, unfortunately, with our music careers? We start and then we get discouraged and we stop. We start again because we get inspired by a video, and then we stop. You know what I'm saying? So I want to encourage you to start and keep going until your music career takes off. You got to push through the doubt. You got to push through the insecurity, the haters out there. I shared earlier that we're starting to get some haters on these ads, but that just means we're starting to break through, right? We're starting to break through. And if you really want to hate on Spotify or hate on whatever, look, you could have invested in their stock. Did you know Spotify stock right now is $705 today? Do you know a year ago it was $300? If we went back just a couple of years ago, let's look. I think it was 2022. It was $93. Okay, you could have invested in it. You don't have to be a record label or anyone. You could invest. You could have 6x extra money. Imagine you put $100,000 into Spotify in 2022. You would have had $600,000 right now. That's more than enough to record a record and blow up your music career, buy some real estate, right? You could have invested in Apple. You could have invested in, I don't know, NVIDIA or any of the tools that we use, Amazon. You see, guys, it's time for us to stop being used and start becoming owners. You know, I always say you don't want to get signed to a record label. You want to become the label owner. I talk about that in my book, The Truth About the Music Business. I've always operated in the mindset of being a label owner, owning my masters, right? Because that's the person who owns the most, makes the most money. But that means I have the most risk, right? When I used to tour and tour my face off, you know, I would pay my band members $150 a night. So when I made $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 in merch, like, look, I ain't splitting that. I'm paying you every night. I'm paying the hotel. I'm paying for the tour bus, or I'm paying for the van and trailer and your food and your per diem, right? I'm taking the risk. I'm the one who bought onto the tour sometimes, right? I bought the flights. I fronted the cash, whether the promoter pays us or not, right? But because I was the one who was willing to take the risk, I'm the one who gets the lion's share of the reward. I hope that makes sense. So let's jump into this. I've been promoting my song Help for 12 days. I'm going to show you the data so you can see what has been going on here. This has been exciting. Go back and watch the other days so you can see what's happening. So I'm going to click on home. And I always like to click on home because it shows me how many people are listening to my music. 137 people. 138, 37, up and down. Let's click on music. We're going to click on songs. We're going to type in help because that's the song I've been promoting. And if we scroll down, woo, look at that. Look at that curve. Okay, so we started about, it was here. Okay, Sunday, 63 streams. I turned on ads on Monday. We jumped to 73, to 92. A few days later, okay, jumped to 190, then 278, 380 to 500, 500 to 719. Are you seeing the exponential growth? At first, we were growing by like 10, 20 a day, and then like by 30 a day, then like 50 a day, right? And then if you notice here, 278 to 380, that's about 100. 380 to 505, that's like 125. But then 505 to 719. And what's interesting, I didn't double the budget here. I only increased it a little bit, but we're getting a lot more streams, okay? And what's really cool is the streams, the number of people listening per listener. So people are listening to the song 2.2 times. Originally, that was at 1.8, okay? And if we look at the saves, what's really interesting, the saves have shot up too, but they've kind of tapered off here, which is interesting. So I'm curious about that. Playlist ads, the same thing. We shot up really high, and now they've kind of tapered off here. So we're going to have to take a look at that. But you know what I really want to look up is my popularity score. I'm really curious. Let's go to Music Desk. Let's search for the song Help by Manafest. I have not looked at this yet. There's the song right there. Okay, so it was at 17. What's it at right now? Okay, so looks like it was at 17. What does it say? It's at 16, max popularity score 41%. Okay, so we're going to let the data keep rolling on there. That has not jumped up as high as I thought, but the goal for that is we want a 25% or 20% popularity score. And so maybe the data hasn't come in there. And the reason we want that popularity score to go up is because once your popularity score goes up, normally that's when we trigger the Spotify algorithm. And if you've been watching along, the Spotify algorithm can get you more streams than anything else. Okay, so we've been running Facebook and Instagram ads to a Spotify playlist that has my song Help at the top, and then it's got all my other songs on it. Let me just share with you what it is we're doing here. We're running ads to this. Let me see. Share my screen, because I think this will really clarify everything. So I'm in here's my artist page. I got about 435,000 monthly listeners. We click on This is Manafest. We can see that this is my song Help. It's at the very top. So I'm promoting this playlist. My saves are at 1,900. When I started on this, I only had 1,700 saves. So we're getting a lot of people saving and following the playlist, which is really important. Now, I've been running Facebook and Instagram ads to this playlist. And so I want to show you the ads that we've been running and what we're going to do to keep it rocking, okay? So let me just refresh this and share my screen so we can see what's going on. So we're going to go into Facebook Ads Manager. And as we can see, today I spent about $45 Canadian. On one ad set, we're getting 30 cents per click. The other one, we're getting 44 cents. What about yesterday? Okay, 32 cents and 40 cents. So this went up a little bit. Because we scaled the budget up on this went up a little bit, okay? Because if we look back to when we started, let's like pick on Tuesday. Okay, Tuesday we're at 13 cents per click. So what that tells me is I probably need to widen this audience a little bit, okay? And so what I'm going to do is, let's just go yesterday. Okay, so hip hop music is the one. What about today? Is it an even split? Okay, so most of it is on hip hop music. And look at that today. Look, 8 cents per click on that one and 32 cents on that one. Isn't that interesting, right? And so let's just go max. So we've had 52 total on this one and 280. Okay, 19 cents each on that one and 22 cents. So that's the average overall on this ad set, which is not bad at all. That's really good because that's 22 cents Canadian. So if we do the math on that, that's only 13 cents per click. Okay, so that's still really, really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bump my budget up here. We're going to bump this up to 28. Okay, and we're going to bump this one up to 47. Okay. We're going to give it a nice little bump here. So now we're going to be spending $60, $75 a day. Okay. And I'll just show you the ads that we're running. Let's take a look so you can see the ad. So this ad is the one that's crushing it. Okay. It's me performing the song. I don't know if the sound is coming through. Let me make sure the sound comes through so you can hear this and see what we're doing. If I click share screen, and I want to make sure, okay, good, we're sharing the sound. Okay, good, so you will hear the sound. So let's click there and I'll hit play. I try to talk to God, confess all my dark thoughts, tell him about my lost cause. Okay, so if you notice here, the ad is only 16 seconds long and it starts right away. Look. I try to talk to God. Right at the hook. Okay, and look, we're starting to get some comments. Let's look at the hate or the love. What are we getting? Is it going to be hate or is it going to be love? Let me make sure I can share my screen. I want to make sure you see this. I'll make sure I share the right one. Let's see. Are we getting love or are we getting hate? Good luck. Oh, awesome. Thanks. So I'm going to respond. Thanks so much for listening. Keep reaching out, brother. Will do. Thanks so much. Okay, and so I got to make sure I respond to all these because this helps with the social proof. I'm just going to put 100%. Thanks. Okay, you got to respond to all of them. You rock. Thank you. Okay, so we got some love on that one. Now, so it's really important to respond to the comments. Now that's on that ad. Let's see about the other ones to see what's happening. And again, if you're not getting any comments, it means you're probably not marketing enough. Okay, so I'm going to close this one. Let's see if we got any love or hate on this one. I'm going to click preview. Okay, we got 5 hearts, 1 share. Okay, so just a little bit. What about the other ads? Let's go into this one. Okay, and I think this is the same. Okay, yeah, this one right here. Okay, that's the same one that I was doing because I'm running the same ad for both. Okay, so we're getting some good stuff here. So what's the total? We've been running this for the last 10 days. Let's just do the last 14 days so that pulls it all in. So I spent $324. Okay, and so what is that American? Okay, 324 times 0.6. Okay, so I spent $194. So I spent $200. That's like nothing. $200. Okay, and I've done that over like 12 days, right? And I've literally gone from 63 streams a day to over 700 plus streams a day. Okay, is that worth it? I think that's worth it, man. Especially when we trigger the algorithm and Spotify just grabs it and just shoots it to the freaking moon. I think it's going to be even better. But again, we started with a small budget and we slowly scaled up. Okay, we wanted to make sure we had ads that are working. Ads that start right at the chorus, right at the verse are really important. 15 to 20 seconds. Go to a playlist that is loaded with your songs, right? We tested a whole bunch of different ads. And so now really the goal is just to now start scaling. Okay, I'm going to start scaling. Now, I'm scaling the budget right now, but I'm also going to have to mess with the targeting a little bit. Okay, and that's because when you set it up with Hyped It, when they set up the ads, they'll like target hip hop or rock or country, whatever your genre is, but then they'll also narrow it down by saying, hey, you must also like Spotify. And so we're going to remove part of that targeting to give Facebook the widest audiences possible. Okay, because you got to understand here, the lesson I want to give you here that's really, really important to know is this. Look, we've had 568 conversions on here, and we've had 274. Okay, so total, we've had over 800 people convert. Okay, and what's interesting is, okay, check this out. The ad has been shown to 115,000 people. 115,000 people saw the ad. They either scrolled past it, and 800 plus clicked on the ad, but then actually clicked play and listened to the song. So I spent about $200 to reach 115,000 people to convert about 800 plus people. So if we do this, so if we do the math here, this is pretty cool, right? So let me open up my trusty calculator here. So if we do $200 divided by 800, that means it cost us about 25 cents per fan. It's not bad, right? 25 cents per fan. Okay, now, of course, I'm only getting paid 0.003 cents, so I'm not breaking even. But what do rich artists know that poor artists don't know? Okay, rich artists know that the money is made on the back end. Okay, I'm willing for my wallet, my money to go down before it goes up. Okay, I can stomach that. I'm willing to invest that. I'm willing to risk that because I know that I'm building a fan base. I know that there's a certain percentage of fans that are not just going to listen to one song. They're going to listen to another one. They're going to follow me. They're going to listen to my next release. They're going to follow me on YouTube and I'll make money there. A percentage of them will buy merch. When I tour again one day, a percentage of them are going to come to a show. But the real goal here and the long-term play here is to trigger Spotify's algorithm so they start sharing my song out for me. And the real test to this, and maybe we'll do this about 3/4 of the way, because I'm going to end this at 30 days, but I'm going to start dialing the budget back. Okay, I'm going to start dialing the budget back and eventually turn it off. And the real question is, how long, like, where will the stream stay? And I really pray to God, and I hope that if the song is good and the marketing was good, that I'm not going to come back down to 63. Maybe I'll come back down to 500 and I'll keep getting 500 streams a day for life. Like, if that happens, if I get 500 streams a day times 30, okay, so times 30 times 12 months, that's 180,000 streams that I would continue to get times 0.003. So that's about $540, okay? But that's just from that one song. Because you got to remember, right? Like, we're running ads to a playlist. And the real question is, are other songs getting streams too? Do you remember that? Well, let's check. Let's see what's happening, right? Because the second song on that playlist was what was it? It was No Stranger to the Pain, and then Starts with a Legend. So let's check both of those songs and see where we're at. So if we click here, we're my Spotify artist dashboard. Let's click on home. Okay, and we can see 126 people listening. Oh, I got to click on music. I got to click on, now let's do Stranger. Click on the song. Let's go last 28 days. Look at those streams. They're shooting up too. It's not as drastic because it's the second song on the playlist, but it's going up. What about playlist ads? Okay, some people are liking it. Some people are listening to this song and going, yeah, heck yeah, 22 in a day. I didn't hit 22 in a day in the last 30 days. Okay, what about saves? Okay, so that's a nice spike, right? It's not as high as it could be. Well, let's see if it keeps going. What was the other song? It was, we're definitely getting streams though, right? Like, and let's just go, let's click on playlists. Last 7 days. Okay, 124 streams from this playlist, from that playlist. Whoops. Okay, from that playlist that I'm promoting. Well, what about the other song? Starts with a Legend. Click on playlists, or let's go streams. Okay, we can't really see much of, okay, let's see a bit of a spike. Okay, so we're at 216, 184, 200, and right now we just peaked out at 245. So I'd say that's a decent peak. It went down a little bit. But what about playlist ads? Okay, there's a bit of a spike again. What about saves? Okay, so really not as much. So we're definitely getting streams. Let's just go one more song. Let's go one more, Powerful. Okay, let's click playlists. Where are the streams coming from in the last 24 hours? The last 24 hours. Okay, I got a Spotify playlist. There's my playlist right there. 18 streams. Okay, so that song is like number 4 or number 5 in my playlist. But what that tells me is people aren't just listening to the first song, but they're listening to the second one, the third, the fourth, the fifth. There's some people that are listening to the whole thing, man. Like, probably building super fans off of this thing. But I haven't even spent any money yet. I haven't even spent $1,000. Like, come on. Like, let's talk about it once I spent $1,000, right? Like that, I think that's fair. And it should be $1,000 American, not Canadian. Okay, I spent 200 American so far. And now we're really raising the budget. But like, we should really start to see exponential growth in the next few days. And on August 11th is when Spotify Discovery Mode opens up again, so I can set it up. And I'm not sure if I opted in my song Help to that, but I'm going to do that live. But speaking of live, if you guys want to ask me questions, like if you want to ask me a question personally, one-on-one over Zoom, come to my Spotify challenge next week. We're starting on Monday. It goes from 11 to 1 each day. I do an hour training private over Zoom, and then I do Q&A for a whole hour. You can ask me as many questions as you want, but you also get to hear the questions from other people, okay? And it's super discounted right now. I'll put the link below, but you just go to 10xyourfanbase.com. But we're going to be doing that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, and it's in a group setting. You're going to hear the questions of other people. The training is insane. It's one of the best things that I've done. You're going to learn so much. You're going to learn about collaborations. You're going to learn about playlist promotion. You're going to learn about running ads. We're going to be setting up an ad with you. You're going to have homework every single day. You're going to learn so much that you guys are going to lose sleep. And then for some of you, you're going to get an opportunity to join my inner circle. Okay. And that's to kind of join my private mastermind. Now, if you don't want to come to the challenge, you just want to work one-on-one with me, well, then book a one-on-one call. The links are below. Just book a, what is it, 30 or 45-minute one-on-one. I'll get you to answer a bunch of questions. Send me your link so I can prepare for our call. And it'll be recorded as well, too. We can just chat over Zoom. Let's map out a plan. Let's set up your ads, whatever you want to work on. We will focus on that. But the most important part is getting clarity and know what to work on and what not to work on. Okay. The last thing I'll say is keep taking action, man. I believe in you. You got to believe in yourself, right? You got to understand that all fear stands for is false evidence appearing real. But God didn't give us a spirit of fear. He gave us a spirit of power, of love, and of a sound mind. You know, the reason we get angry, the reason we worry and get frustrated, it's out of fear of missing out. But look, you know, I always say, like, it's not I can't afford that. It's how can I afford that? How can I start running ads? You know, start to dream bigger. Turn on your dream machine. I hope to see you next week on the Spotify challenge. It's going to be awesome. Either way, I'll be here tomorrow recording, and hopefully, look, I'm glad I didn't wait, because I'm still waiting for that artist.spotify or Apple to find out my Shazams, and I still didn't get it. So that's why I kind of delayed the live today. But I'll be back tomorrow, and I'll have gotten that email. So hopefully we'll have gotten a lot more Apple Shazams. And make sure that you watch day 13 by clicking on this video right here.